I'm in New York. I'm back in New York. I lived here a few years ago and I really moved here. I brought childhood memory stuff, family stuff. And now I'm moving out officially. And so here is a poem about, it'll make sense. I guess it's more prose. Okay, it's called Eras. The art painted with friends I hardly speak with anymore. The non-slip shoes I used to serve in with a shirt collar that gave me a rash. The lingerie I never got to wear with a lover. The colors I'm letting fade from importance and expression. The vase that I would still love to fill. The pressed florals filling frames and coasters on display in devotion to change, rebirth. The shirts I forgot about, the father I didn't. The last place I had built for myself and the releasing I am doing to grow the next. The rich life I grew from, turning over into soil to enrich the next chapter. It feels so good to be back. And there will be some various subway, car, and people walking down the street background noise. We're sitting on a stoop in Brooklyn. Left at 5 a.m. this morning. I left Texas. And I was just, oh my God, I'm so glad to be back here. It feels so good to be back. And Mars is finally out of retrograde today. And coincidentally, but I also don't believe in coincidences. But coincidentally, all of the planets are forward moving right now. So that means that, no planets in retrograde. So we can take action, we can proceed. Things have been pretty, I don't know, I feel like February has gone on forever. And it finally feels like things are going to start picking up and all of the groundwork that's been laid is going to finally start moving, which makes sense. It's winter and we're moving into spring now. I guess I'm just baffled that things are still working out for me. I feel so I just saw this video on Instagram. This guy was talking about if you start actually listening to your intuition and start following that guidance, it's like God working through you. Your intuition is. And he said that's what it meant to finally choose yourself, is to actually finally start doing what you want and start listening to your intuition. And I've been listening to my intuition more clearly for the past, I would say probably ever since I started saying that I'm following whimsy, which was when I moved to New York, which this is funny now realizing this in New York. But I've been listening to my intuition without having clear hows. Last year after spirit school, I remember I didn't have a plan because I was I feel like I'm going to get a lot of clarity at spirit school, and that's when I'll know. And I learned on my pilgrimage that you can't know the whole path, you can just know your next right step. And so I've been trying to think that presently because it makes the decisions a lot easier and have turned out to be better decisions. I've been listening to my intuition, actually even moving to New York was I don't know, this just feels right. And then all of the dominoes, or the red carpet was rolled out in front of me, essentially. I texted my friend that already lived here, and within 3 texts, I already had a roommate by the end of the summer, and then the boat had a contract exactly when I needed it, and everything just kept boom, boom, boom working out. Then last year after spirit school, I didn't have a plan. I was I only know my next right step, which was spirit school. And so then I was okay, the next step will come to me while on this step. And I had May, June, 2 months of travel after spirit school. And so that was the full next step. And then plans kept coming up and I kept being able to do them. And I remember the one that seemed the most impossible was going on another cruise and then going to Africa. The cruise is heavily discounted, but going to Africa, it was it would have made much more sense not to financially. But I wanted to. I knew I wanted to. And so I was like, okay, shit, like, it's gonna work out. Because it has every time before. And every time, like, I've had this feeling of, like, I've started being able to, like, recognize this feeling of, like, okay, go for this. And ever since I've been following that, life, well, one has just kept getting better and better. But also, like, I feel so much more me. And, like, I feel so much more able to be myself through listening to this voice and trusting it without having a why, which I feel like also relates to how I've been letting myself cry without having a reason why. And, like, not just, like, you know, tear up a little bit, but, like, full-on sob. Like, it seems like something is wrong. But, like, I don't have a reason why. And I feel insane. But it feels necessary. Same with moving to New York. Or going to Africa. It feels insane, but it feels necessary. And this is also, now I'm doing this more in the little things. Like, it's funny. I test out these theories in really big ways, and then I'm like, oh, I can do this I can use this practice for eating. I can use this practice for talking to my family. I can use this practice for riding a bike. I recently learned how to ride a bike, like, comfortably. I learned how technically in 7th grade, but I was terrified. And then my bike got stolen when I was in university. And so then I was like, okay, wheels aren't meant for me. But I don't want to be scared of something. And so now I have been using a bike regularly to get around. And I had to go to Africa by myself to learn how to ride a bike. That's how it feels. But, like, I've been learning how to trust my intuition in this big way of, like, oh, it feels like I'm supposed to take this jump. I'll jump. Not knowing what's underneath, you know? Now I feel like I can listen to my intuition so much easier now with small things, like knowing what I want to eat, although that one still gets me sometimes. But knowing how much I want to eat, that one's a lot easier now. I feel like your early 20s is all about, or like listening to that voice, figuring out what that voice sounds like, because it's really when building yourself. I'm 28, I know everything, but that's been... Oh my god, I forgot how much they honk here. Oh my god, I remember when I moved here. I drove the 10-foot box truck, like moving van across the country from Texas. And like as soon as I get into the city, I get honked at like 5 times within the first minute. And I was like, oh my god. Like, by the end of it, I just had to start laughing because, like, I couldn't do anything. It was a fucking box truck. Like, I couldn't move fast. In a cramped, like, city. I forgot how much they honk here. I remember once I was hanging out in my apartment, which I did all the time when I lived here because I had no money. Right outside my place was like a one-way, like, single-lane street. And I don't know how this happened. This cop car and this ambulance, one of them was going the wrong way. And they were, like, facing each other and, like, trying to get the other one to move. And so they were just, like, blaring their sirens at each other. And I don't remember how long it went on. Long enough. Oh, I love New York. I really did love my time in the city. And I mean, it makes sense. Like, I really moved with intention I really thought it was going to be like this whole new stage in my life, or like a big chapter, and it only ended up being a year. But I really came with a whole heart. Like, I really moved here. And I'm going through all of it right now, and obviously going to keep some of the stuff, but it depends on how much I can fit in my suitcases. And it just feels really crazy to kind of go through my life in this way after now it having changed so much. Like, I don't know, so much of this stuff, I'm like, this doesn't even feel like it's mine. Like, I'm wrapping up this tiny purple sparkly top that I wore, I think, a fair amount, but it feels so far away now. It doesn't feel like mine anymore. And it's curious. I don't know, it's crazy going through all of the clothes. Like, those feel more like a season. My decorations, I really had really good art and decorative plates and everything like that. Like, I really had it set. Like, it was really good. And those do still feel like they are within my taste. And so those feel a bit more funny to part with, because I was speaking with one of my friends today, Julie, always some of the best conversation. This was like when I first really got to go through everything and kind of lay it out and start taking pictures of it and just be like, holy shit, I'm actually selling it and I'm getting rid of it. And it's not mine anymore. Either way, even if I sell it or not. And New York was the last place I really had a place. Like, I left New York and took probably, I don't know, I really didn't even take that much with me when I left, because I was going to take my STCW course in Florida. So I couldn't. And I was staying in a yurt in the town called Christmas. And I remember that was when I met the Uber driver that was like an incredibly successful real estate agent, but just did Uber because he liked chatting with people. And now I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I get it. But yeah, leaving New York, I brought 2 suitcases and all my dreams. No. I mean, always I'm carrying those. But I only had 2 suitcases, and so I left a lot of shit here in my storage unit. And I have come back and sold stuff before and donated, or no, I haven't donated a lot of stuff yet, because I always thought I was coming back, and now we're finally letting go of that dream. It feels crazy because this is the last place I had a place. Like, I've been, well, albeit purposefully placeless the past 3 years. I feel like it feels mourning to be kind of confronting the loss of the decor, because that's like a way I would still express myself if I had a place. But like, leaving the clothes, this was something else Julie and I were talking about. Leaving the clothes is more like just leaving behind a self that I've kind of grown out of, because it feels like a lot of my clothes, like, I used to wear a lot more color, now I wear a lot of black because it's ended up, I mean, obviously it's always a good color, and I've minimized my wardrobe a lot, so most of it's ended up being black because it always goes together. And now that that's been a thing for a few years, like, I kind of just don't even feel the need to express myself through fashion anymore, because I feel like I'm getting very into like the uniform vibes of where like you wear the same thing every day, just because I don't want to think about it anymore. Like, I remember when I lived here, actually, I spent so much time thinking about my outfits and just like kind of worrying about them, and it's like, why? I have so many other ways to express myself. And it's now, like, obviously expressing myself through this or through my Instagram. Oh, my back hurts so bad. I've moved, my storage unit is like 8 feet in the air, 2 meters at least, maybe almost 3. And I've lifted an antique dresser in and out of there 4 times in the past 2 days. By myself. And it doesn't help that I just keep bending at the waist. I'm tired. What a big release. And now I'll be, oh my god, so I just finished packing up all of my clothes that I'm going to try to sell. And I also have all of my books that I'm going to try to sell. And because I have so little time here in New York, I'm going to be taking them all at once in my suitcases that I brought. Oh my god. Yeah, this is going to suck. I really hope, like, purely for my body, that a lot of stuff gets bought. Because I don't want to have to do it twice. I mean, for the books, I'll probably just leave them on the side of the road. Because someone will find it. Or it'll be taken by the God-sent trash men. Here, this city would seriously not function without them. It also feels weird, and I feel kind of guilty letting go of some of this, because I feel like almost there's an idea that if you hold on to the object, the story, like, it stays in your story because it's there in physical reality. But, like, it's still part of your story. Just because the object's gone. Like, it still made you, partially. It's still a part of you. Oh, it feels so good to get rid of stuff. This was such a beautiful chapter, and it is, in a sense, heartbreaking for it to pass, but also, letting go and moving on to something new. Clearing up all this space. Like, I feel like almost this has sort of been constipating, like holding on to this. I mean, there's all this stuff. Like this, when I cleaned out the hoarder house in Colorado that I was living in, I didn't get rid of that much stuff, but like it made me reflect on stuff a lot. Like thinking about how much stuff we have and how much stuff do we actually need? How much stuff do I actually want? And how sad it was that there was all of these, like, there was so much, like, beautiful clothes or beautiful dishes. She had these amazing books, and none of them were being used. And it was like, someone would love this. Like, someone would use this and appreciate it, and, like, it's just sitting here, and it's not doing anything for anybody. Like, this is so sad. And all this stuff has just been sitting in my storage unit. No one's been using it. No one's been loving it. And even if it goes out on the street, goes out on the street and somebody takes it and I don't get money for it, someone will love it and someone will appreciate it more than it was. It'll get more good energy will be spread rather than it's just sitting stagnant in a cabinet. I've been repeating to myself a lot as well. One of the things I have on my post-it notes on my mirror to change my life, which is people buy what I'm selling. Because, I don't know, I've been working through my relationship with money lately, and obviously that's been difficult. I heard someone say that your relationship with money is the same as your relationship with food. And that made a lot of sense to me, especially because I've had binge eating issues in the past, which reminds me of the boat because it's like save. And then I would spend it slowly, but still, like, it's just like binge culture because it's like all at once and then nothing. Too soon. I think my main thing to work through with money is not thinking poorly of people who have it. Or just like, there's that common phrase, like, money is the root of all evil. But while I do agree with that in a lot of ways, I think we should have more communal living. A globalized, like, village vibe, that'd be sick. Because, like, you can, if we could just trust that, like, our neighbor, no matter where we are, is looking out for us because we're looking out for them. That'd be sick. I mean, that's how I try to live. Actually, yeah, that is. Like when I'm traveling anywhere, especially by myself, which I travel a lot by myself, but doing that, I always think to myself, like, these people are just like me. They are also just on a vacation, and I've gotten a lot more comfortable in the unknown, which has been nice. Not knowing the how, but trusting the plan and that it will happen because it feels like it's supposed to. Like, I could have a lot of questions about how this is going to work out, but I know it's going to. Like, my plan for the year. And I also know that even if it changes, that what's happening is what's best for me. It's for my highest good. Follow your intuition. It will never lead you wrong. But first you gotta learn what she sounds like. And then the rest is golden. You never feel insane when you're just following your intuition without a reason why or how. But I will say your life does get a whole lot more fun and interesting when you actually start listening to yourself and doing what you want and what you know is best for you. That has been said to me from so many different kinds of people, and I've read that in so many different sources. And so even if you're like, what the fuck am I doing? If you're following that little voice inside, it's always gonna take you in the right path, even if it doesn't look like a quote-unquote success. This one was a lot more of an in real time processing, much more of a voice memo from a friend, or like we were all on the phone together while I was sorting through my life and contemplating everything I was letting go. I am back on track with the every 2 weeks episode. And I also offer tarot card readings online, especially if anyone's feeling absolutely crazy psycho in this eclipse period. I know I'm feeling like I'm in a liminal space. And so I've been doing a lot of tarot card readings or just like reaching out to spirit in general. So if anyone is interested in that, I offer those online. Also collages, personalized or already pre-made. If you want a bit of magic, a bit of inspiration on your phone background, and also obviously tons of giggles that I hope you also laugh along with. I hope you're having a great day. I hope the sun is shining for you somewhere, or if not, you have coziness and warmth in your heart. Much love, as always.